If you're buying a car, watch this first. Before you buy your next car, I need to tell you something. I've worked in car sales for years, and most people don't lose money because they're stupid. They lose money because nobody explains how buying a car actually works. And the internet has made this worse. You've got YouTube experts, you've got Facebook experts, and you've got your mate Dave who works in the motor trade. And half of the advice online is complete rubbish. So today I'm going to tell you things I genuinely wish every customer knew before walking into a dealership. Now, some of these things could save you money. Some will save you hours of frustration. And some might stop you making, a very expensive mistake. So on that, let's get into it. Number one, excuse me. Stop asking for the best price immediately. You need to earn that, all right? And here's the reason why. The first mistake I see every single day, customer rings up and says, "What's your best price?" Now, most of the time, a lot of the time, they'll say that before they've even seen the car, right? Now, obviously, I do understand why people ask. Nobody wants to overpay. But here's the truth. The best deals almost always happen when you've actually seen the vehicle you're genuinely interested in. Right? Because then that way the salesperson, the sales manager, they know it's now worth engaging with and they want to do everything they can to sell you that car. Right? Think about it. If you're selling something online and somebody messages you, "What's your lowest price?" There's no commitment there to buy it. Why are you going to lower your price when there's no solid interest there? Right? And they'll ask that before they've even looked at your product. Right? And when they do, what do you think? Exactly. Most dealerships market their vehicles according to the market anyway. We all look at the same auto trader listings. The days of knocking off £3,000 because somebody asked nicely, those days are mostly gone. So, yeah, build up that to the stage where you're going to like negotiate, don't ask straight away because you won't get it. Number two. Now, this one will cause a lot of arguments. Your part exchange vehicle isn't worth what you think it's worth. And before you get angry, neither is mine. Now, every customer tells me, "I've seen one advertised for £12,000. Okay, advertised, not sold. There's a huge difference. The dealership taking your car has to prepare it, warranty it, market it, potentially repair it, and still make a profit. Their business. It's not like just selling it to someone private that's just going to start driving around the block. The dealership has a lot of work to do once they buy that car from you. And the thing is, some customers compare trading values to retail prices. That's like comparing what a restaurant charges for a steak to what Tesco paid for it. It's not the same thing. Number three, another mistake a lot of people make is it's more like a financial mistake. People shop based on monthly payments only. This happens constantly. Customer comes in, finds a car, it, then asks, what's the monthly payments? Right? They don't ask about the total amount, not the interest, not the deposit, just the monthly. Now, monthly payments matter, of course they do, but focusing only on the monthly payment is like buying a house based on the mortgage payment. You need to understand the whole picture because sometimes a deal that looks cheaper monthly actually costs more overall. So by looking at the total numbers overall, you could save yourself thousands. Always look at the total numbers, not just the monthly payments, because monthly payments can be misleading and you can end up in a cycle and a trap of never building up any positive equity and always paying more and more as the years go on. Now, I know my next one is, I know I'm going to upset a lot of people here, but Facebook Marketplace has absolutely destroyed people's perception of car values. Every week I hear, but I've seen one cheaper online. Okay, so let's have a look at it. All right, and it's got a different mileage, different history, different condition, different specification, no warranty, and it's come from a private seller. And from a private seller, there's no telling what the service history is like, how they've been driving it, how many number I know, no HPI check, nothing. And yet somehow we're pretending it's still the same car. But the cheapest example was rarely the best example. And sometimes, always remember, it's the cheapest one for a good reason. All right. Number 5, what do salespeople actually think? Now, let's talk about something customers always ask me. Can salespeople tell who's serious? Yes, usually within minutes. Okay. Not because we're mind readers, but because we have seen thousands of people. Now, the funny thing is, the customer who says, I'm definitely buying today, often doesn't. A lot of time it's a tactic. Um, it's normally the customer who asks thoughtful questions and they take their time. They're usually much closer. The loudest customer isn't always the buyer. The quietest customer often is. And when a dealership or salesperson sense that someone is looking to buy on that day, they're more open to opening up a serious conversation about a deal for you. Okay. Something some customers lie about. Now, I'm not saying all customers are dishonest, but here are a few classics. Part exchange turns up making a noise. It's never done that before. Amazing. Well, that's just a coincidence because it's not doing it exactly as you arrived. Another one. It's immaculate. No, it's not immaculate. Your part exchange isn't immaculate. It's got 3 dents, 2 curved wheels, and smells like a wet Labrador. And my personal favourite, I've got someone offering more already. Fantastic. Sell it to them. But save yourself time, save yourself frustration, save yourself money. Be completely open and honest about your part exchange. And if somebody generally has offered you more for it, take it because you will always get more money for your part exchange privately. So you will trade because with trade, as I've mentioned earlier, there's a lot of checks and a lot of preparation and a lot of money goes into getting it back on the forecourt. Okay. Now, next one, let's talk about negotiating. Most people think the toughest negotiator gets the best deals. Not always. The customers who usually get the smoothest experience are simply reasonable. They've done their research, they're respectful, they're realistic, and to make a decision. That's a big one. If your customer are looking to buy a car and you're ready to make a decision, again, that opens up the two-way conversation where the dealer is taking you serious, okay? And nobody will expect you to pay full price without asking any questions, all right? But there is a difference between negotiating and trying to win a boxing match. You know, it's like as salespeople in dealership, we don't want to get we don't want to get the customers guard up, and you don't want to get the dealership or the salesperson's guard up neither. And you know, good, open, honest conversation works best every time. Now, things I wish car buyers know. If I could sit down with every car buyer and tell them three things, it would be this. Number one, research before you fall in love with a car. Because if the numbers don't work out or many other factors don't work out, you're only going to be disappointed. Number two, buy the best example you can afford, not the cheapest. Remember, it's always cheapest for a reason. Okay? And then normally, if it sounds too good to be true, it normally is. Number three, remember that no used car is perfect. It's used. It doesn't mean it's a bad car. If it's got a tiny little stone chip on it and a tiny scratch doesn't mean you're being scammed. Perfection doesn't exist, especially in used cars. I'm going to repeat that. Perfection does not exist, especially in used cars. So just manage your own expectations, okay? And then, you know, you're in a much better position. So if you're buying a car soon, remember this. Most dealers aren't sitting in the back room plotting how to rip you off. Most salespeople just want a straightforward deal and a happy customer. Because if you're happy, we're happy. It makes our life a lot more a lot more pleasing at work. Believe me. The biggest mistakes I see aren't caused by bad dealers. They're caused by unrealistic expectations. Right. So do your research, understand the numbers, be realistic about your trading, and most importantly, buy the right car for your needs. Not the one some influencer told you to buy, and don't let a salesperson direct you into a car that doesn't suit you neither. All right. If you've got any questions about buying a car, finance, trade-ins, dealerships, or anything else, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. And if enough people watch this and comment, I'll make a follow-up video called Things Car Salespeople Wish They Could Say to Customers. Trust me, that one will be even more entertaining.